You guys requested him, and so here he is. Welcome to my revamped and updated guide on Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta. Now this is part 1 of the guide, so we will be going over his base variation, base toolkit, and all that he can do naturally regardless of his skill set. For those of you who saw the original video, I will be going over a few things that I did not discuss in that video, and that video is no longer up. So if you want to learn about this character and what he can do basically, regardless of his custom variation, please watch this video if you are new to this character. If you want to learn all you can about him, because I will not be going over that in part 2. We will be going over the Staminabreaks, loops, optimization. I'll go over his strengths, weaknesses, his skills, and the little bit of tech I know how to do with this variation because it involves 2 skills that I do not have equipped on my personal custom build. So without further ado, let us get into it with the Staminabreaks. Of course, he has 1 heavy into light. This works fairly consistently online. Then he's got 2 heavies. This is one of your best options because you can dash into it like so. Then he's also got 4 heavies. 4 heavies will work, although this is not consistent. So keep this in mind. This combo has a very weird weakness where it has a gap on it that will randomly come up. You see there? The stun frames on that 4th hit are inconsistent and do not work the way they should. See? I'll even delay it. See that? It's not consistent. So just keep that in mind. It will work sometimes, but it's not reliable. So I would not recommend it. And 3 just flat out does not work. There's not enough stun applied to it. Now, if you actually do hit that 5th hit, if you want a stamina break after it, you're going to have to spend the bar because it knocks them away, and there is no auto vanish included. Then the other one that he has is this, which most people are aware of. This is probably the stamina break that most people are going to do when they don't know how to play this character, because this is the one that they think is the easiest to perform. This will link a light and heavy stamina break. I'll demonstrate that for you real quick. And in the air, only at the ceiling will this work. Keep that in mind. But if you want to stamina break after the final hit of this little Stardust Breaker fancy feet combo that's what I like to call it anyway. It's not really called that, but it will only link a light stamina break. I will go ahead and show you what I mean. Unlike Super Gogeta, for those of you who saw that guide, Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta's heavy is very, very slow on startup, so it will not link that. Super Gogeta's heavy stamina break is a lot faster. Then he's got this one here. After that 6th hit, it will not link. However, after the 7th hit, it will. And if you add a triangle after that 7th hit, it'll also link a light stamina break. Then he's also got this one here. Oh, hold on a sec, not that one. Hold on a sec. Right there, that kick. Hold on a sec. He's against the wall. You gotta be fast for this one, but it will also link a light stamina break. And this is also one of your best options because you can go into this like this. Just dash square square. Or you can do triangle square. Pretty good, pretty good. Then he's also got this one here. after that flurry of kicks. There you go, light stamina break, and then after the final hit of his light combo, well, not the final hit, but the the last hit before the final knockaway, you can actually link a light stamina break. And if you want to land it after the full light combo string, you gotta spend that bar. Hold on a sec, I messed up. Because my controller didn't want to respond to my command for some reason. And that is it for all of his grounded combos. Oh wait, no. He's also got this. If you want, you can also land a stamina break after his jump hit on the ground, of course, because that's the only time you can jump in this game anyway. In Xenoverse 1, you actually could jump mid-air, weirdly enough. It was very strange. And this will also link a heavy stamina break. Now for his auto vanish combos. And you've already seen, this is one of his strengths. He has a lot of ways to stamina break you. A lot. A lot more than most characters. But he's got this one here. Always commit into the auto vanish with your square button, because watch this. See that? Now watch when I do it with square. See that? It makes me vanish a little bit too far above where they're flying at, so it causes the punch to whiff. This also applies to the heavy stamina break, of course. Light stamina break. Heavy stamina break also whiffs if you try this. The only time you can actually get this to kind of work is if you're at the very top of the map, because it causes them to be launched at a downward angle instead of an upward angle. This is a problem that Omega Shenron suffers from as well. And that also applies to this combo. If you launch them away with, if you commit into the auto vanish with triangle after this combo, it will whiff unless you're at the very top of the map. And as for linking into a heavy stamina break, it often does not work. So I'll try. Sometimes you can get it to work, but it usually doesn't. Vanish into it with square, and that's more consistent. However, be very aware, because lag can cause auto-vanish combos like this to glitch up a storm, causing you to vanish halfway across the map where your opponent isn't even going. Because the game can't really handle the stress of lag very well. After this elbow here, it looks like you should be able to stamina break, but he doesn't quite have the speed on startup to be able to do that, so don't try that. However, this does have a block cancel, so if you want, you can actually do this. Unvanishable stamina break right there. This will not unvanishable a heavy stamina break, however, for obvious reasons. This is one of the slowest heavy stamina breaks in the game. But if you... also, I should mention, after this kick here, if you spend the bar, you cannot do that. They will roll out of it. If the AI can just snap vanish out of that, it will recovery roll out of that if it doesn't have the stamina to vanish it. So just keep that in mind. Don't ever do it after that axe kick. You're wasting your stamina at that point. And then after this combo, you can spend the bar and link the stamina break. It will not link a heavy, no matter how you time it. I've tried it so many times. However, if you want to link a heavy with any of his auto vanish combos, you got to do it with this. And it's got to be fast. If you don't do it fast, he will whiff this. But if you do it fast enough, he will auto-correct, turn around, and hit them with it. As you saw right there. It looks awkward online if there's even just a tiny bit of lag, because they'll be like 15 feet away from you, but it's no biggie. They're heavy stamina broken, so they're still gonna go to the ground and be stuck there for a while. But that is the end of his stamina break combos, everybody. Now let's get into those loops. Of course, he has this. Best to do it whenever they're stamina broken, though, so that they don't recovery roll out of it. Then he's also got this one here. Ground bounce. His Super Soul takes away a little bit of ki whenever you hit them with a charged ki blast, but it really isn't useful, to be honest. This is another weakness that he has. Then he's also got this one here. If you can link that 5th hit, you can loop a ki blast after it. So keep in mind that gap will cause this to not work sometimes. Then he's also got this one here, which also has a block cancel, like I mentioned. Both of his auto vanish combos have a block cancel, so you can loop it like that. And after this kick here, you can loop it with a ki blast. And then he's also got this one here, which this one can also be done like that, although it's kind of slower than doing it like this. This is one of his best baits. This is one of his best cancels, because look at how fast this is. Very, very fast. And it's got a lot of iframes. His movement's actually quite solid. But now let's get into these standing loops, because we have finished with all of his basic loops. And this is where he shines most. He has the most standing loops out of any character in the game. First standing loop he has, but where most people are aware, is that he has this. You can loop it. They cannot get out of that unless they decide to snap vanish, or evasive, or limit burst. But did you know that you can also do this? Now, most pro players are aware of this loop here, but the majority of normal players are not. So he can loop this combo very, very fluently. This is probably one of your best combo starters, because you can just do this, mash square, and then go into it. Go into other strings after it. It also has a block cancel, so it's a fantastic limit burst bait. It is a fantastic limit burst bait. Excuse me. If your opponent's going to try and mash out the limit burst, you can immediately time that block, perfect block it, and punish them for it. Unless it's super armor, in which case you gotta immediately grab and then let them get their stamina break. Get their stamina back, because unfortunately there's no real way to stop super armor limit burst, which is why I hate that mechanic. By the way, Dimps, even after you nerfed it, it's still stupid. Now let's get into the other one that he has, and that is this. Most people are not aware that you can do this one. It does take a little bit of timing. If you don't time it, there is a gap. But as you see right there, you can loop it. And another thing that it has is this. Restand, rinse and repeat. Boom, boom. Restand, rinse, and repeat. Sets up another infinite right there. And then his final loop is this, which I actually did not go over in the original guide. This one is difficult to time, but do you remember how I said this is probably one of your best go-to options for combo starting? And it's one of your best stamina break options, because you can just do this. You can just go boom, 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 boom. You cannot go into square after that, you can only go into triangle. And you gotta time it right. If you don't time it right, they do have an opportunity to block right there. But look at the loops it gives you access to. If you time it right, this is seamless. However, online, this can be exploitable. They can kind of just mash guard out of it because lag causes the hitbox to glitch. Look at all that. Pretty insane, right? And all that without a stamina break. You can also go and do it like this if you want. To give yourself a little bit more time and a little bit more damage. Look at that. Pretty insane. He's got so many stand loops. It's absolutely bonkers that he's able to do this. And another one that he has, and this, does this really fall into the tech category? I don't really think it does. But you can actually do this if you want, which is one of my favorite things to do with him, because you don't even have to stamina break for this to work. Boom, 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 boom. Look at that. I can restand him with an unlocked back hit mid-combo without a stamina break. Now all I'm doing right there, for those who are new, all I'm doing is just flicking my stick the opposite direction of my opponent, quickly tapping the lock-on button, and then tapping it again as soon as I turn around. This takes a little bit of practice, but once you can do it seamlessly, you can actually do something like this. Remember, you cannot go into square after that. Boom, 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 boom. See right there, you can actually do a double back hit if you get fast enough at it. You can even do a triple back hit if you want. Though this does depend on the lag. If it is lagging a bunch, it won't work. But that is it for his loops. Now let's get into those skills. First we have Meteor Crash. Most people know what this does. It's a default skill that you get. This is probably his best skill for dealing out damage that is in one of his ultimate attacks. And it's especially good online because you can do it after this combo, which you normally can't. For some reason, the hitbox just sucks them right back into it, even though it shouldn't. Best way to maximize damage with it. But nobody really cares about this skill. Not anymore, anyway. It did have a glitch at one point that allowed you to waste all of your ki on it and then immediately start attacking. And it would allow you to combo cancel out of it, but Dimps removed that shortly after it was even put into the game. So, unfortunately, that is no longer possible. Thanks a lot, Dimps, by the way. Alright, now he's got Big Bang Kamehameha, which is one of the worst freaking super skills in the game. Damage is pitiful after they nerfed it. It takes forever to freaking charge. And the most you're going to be able to get out of it in just a normal combo without a stamina break is like this. Not even half charged. Just the very first tick is all you can get off. If you try and do it after this, you can't get it. And if you try and do it after this, you can't get it. It's just not fast enough. This is one of his weaknesses. This is one of his glaring weaknesses in his base variation. This is why most people did not play him before, is because his base skill kit is just very bad, very lame, and very useless. Personally, this is one of the most lame and useless skills in the game. Yes, it has a gimmick of being able to vanish, but the only time you're ever going to be able to land this is if you stamina break, right? You do a combo like this, for example. But you can't get anything off after that. See, they can recover immediately. So there's not really any point. You're wasting your time and you're wasting damage if you go for that. Then he's got Bluff Kamehameha. That's its maximum range. It takes away almost an entire bar of ki, and it takes away an entire 10 bars of ki if you fully charge it. However, this move is easily his worst skill, because from the sides, at all. Wait, what? Hold on. Oh wait, he's turning around because he's on guard from start. Excuse me. See how I'm at his side real quick? Now I'm on his side again. And now, point blank, right behind him, fully charged. Just goes right through his body. This will only hit them from the front. And even at that, it does no damage, and you cannot combo into this. Outside of one option, and that's this. However, if they can guard, if they have the stamina to guard, they can just do that to you. This only works whenever their stamina broken, or if they're just personally not wanting to guard it for some reason. Yeah, it's pretty bad. This skill is pretty dang stupid, pretty bad. It honestly was nerfed way too much from its first iteration from Xenoverse 1, which was a way, way more broken game, by the way. Then he's got Affirmative Strike. You can combo and you can cancel into supers with it, or you can cancel into burst dashes with it, or you can cancel into knockback attacks with it. Unfortunately, you cannot cancel into basic with it or guarding, so you're pretty much just a sitting duck unless you cancel into any of those things, which makes this skill kind of bad outside of certain like zoning tactics on CACs. But he doesn't really have any use for it in his base toolkit because he doesn't have things like Shine Shot in his base toolkit. Then he's got Big Bang Kamehameha, the times 100 variation, of course, or Ultra Big Bang Kamehameha, which I personally prefer Ultra Big Bang Kamehameha over times 100. Times 100 is just kind of stupid, in my opinion. I hate that name. Then he's got Super Kamehameha, which is as basic and bitch as it gets, because he's a Goku character, although he's one of the more tame Goku characters in the game. And then his evasives... Oh, wait a minute. I should go over what his Big Bang Kamehameha can do. When you're unlocked, some people aren't aware of this, so I'll go over it. If you're unlocked, it'll hit them one time, but look at how much damage it does in one hit. That's insanity. And with a combo, this can absolutely just melt your opponent. Kind of like a Soul Punisher. But yeah, Punisher Guard, which actually used to be called Vanisher Guard for some reason. Even in the first game it was called Vanisher Guard. I don't know why they changed it to Punisher Guard. Maybe to fit the whole Punisher aspect of his move. The names of his other moves. In this game specifically. But other than that, it's just a solid evasive skill. It's probably the best, actually, it's one of the best 3-bar evasive skills alongside Armored Boost and, what is Oob's evasive called again? That evasive is actually pretty good as well because it has a gimmick to it when you're at low health. But this will shield you just like a Super Guard, except from two things. And that's being that being mind control, which is a villainous skill, and time shackles, which is one of Demigrez's skills, or if you're fighting a dirty hacker. But now let's get into optimization. I'll just show you some basic examples of what you can do with his combos and skills and loops, and just combine them all into one little combo for you real quick. Boom, boom. Hold on a sec. Okay, that's... If you want to get that to work, you gotta be kind of fast. You cannot delay it at all. So there's an example that you can do right there. Boom, boom. You can restand them into that if you want. Same concept. Bam, bam, bam. You've always got to be fast though, otherwise it leaves a gap. You see right there. And if you want to spend your stamina, you can do something like this if you want, though I wouldn't recommend it. Though it is an option if you want to get that offline, because other than that, you don't really have any other way to get Meteor Crash off after that combo. If you do not charge your heavy, that happens. You see how they were able to get their... You see how they were still knocked off balance? It only restands them if you fully charge it. Boom. See? See, if you want to restand them and keep that stamina from recovering quickly, you always want to go into that heavy and charge it all the way. Now those are some basic examples of some combos you can use to Meteor Crash. Like I mentioned before, after that one combo, after this combo here, after this kick, online Meteor Crash will connect. However, offline it does not. But now let's get into Stamina Break optimization. Oh, hold on a sec. Like I said, if you mash, that will happen to you. See? You cannot mash this stun loop. Otherwise it will not work. If you want, you can go into a grab and then Super Kamehameha after that. This works better if you're further up because they have less time to recover. Like so. Keep it, like I said, you gotta be fast. Oh, hold on a sec. It didn't let me grab for some reason right there. Alright, I'm just gonna knock him up here real quick. Make it easier. Pause. Look at how freaking... Look at how much stun that applies to him. See how it actually comboed when I was at a good height? And if you want, you can actually add more to that. Like so. Do you remember how I said you can lock off back hit after that one combo? You can go into that first and then do the grab into Super Kamehameha. Pretty fancy, pretty disrespectful, but not too difficult to perform. Unlock back hitting really doesn't fall into the tech category outside of reverse soul punishing, in my opinion. This is just a combo extension that takes a little bit more skill to do. But it really, honestly, unlock back hitting is probably the most simple form of tech. It's not that difficult to do. But then you've also got the ability to combo into the times 100. So I'm going to show you that real quick. One way that you can do it is like this. Only on the ground, however. And this will almost always kill, depending on your opponent's health. By the time you actually stamina break them, it's probably going to kill them because usually your opponent has spent the entire time taking hits. Another way that you can do it is like this, obviously. And you see how much damage that does. But personally, my favorite way to do it is like this. Oh, hold on a sec, I messed up right there. That left a gap. He's got many loops and combo routes. And fun fact, he has remained largely unchanged from his Universe 1 counterpart altogether. Here's another example for you. If you want to maximize your damage before stamina breaking him and get him into that combo like that. Here's another example. Fly towards them. Immediately unlock after you jump hit them and set it up like that. And as you see right there, that did kill. Now I'll show you the tech that I know how to do with this variation. Because like I said, it involves two skills. One thing that you can do is this. Although they pretty much do the exact same thing. Because Bluff Kamehameha doesn't hit, you can actually use it as kind of a pseudo-cancel. Same with his evasive skill. Because it can be canceled so fast, you're able to do something like this. After the final hit of this combo here, you're able to, hold on a sec. If you want to spend the bar, or rather the 3 bars of stamina that is required to use this thing, for a little bit of disrespect before you kill your opponent, You can do this. Watch this. See that? Pretty sick. But anyways, that is it for the video, everybody. If you liked the video, please leave a like, maybe share it. And if you are new to my channel, please feel free to subscribe. It helps a lot. I appreciate the support. And I will see you all in part 2 of the guide.